and just play it for people. No, record it and play it for myself because you don't really think about yourself in terms of what you've done. My whole thing is kind of like, okay, what's next? That's pretty much how I think about things. I got this done. Now it's time to go and get something else done. So thank you so much for sharing that information. And it was a joy to talk with you. And I didn't even know it was 2 hours. Had no idea that it was that long, but it was a value added time. And I believe that when you are an entrepreneur, especially when you're just getting started, you have to lead with service. You have to, for a lot of different reasons, but mostly because it's just really good energy. Because when you're helping others, then hopefully someone will be along, to help you. So it's just something that I've done since I was a little girl. Is to find ways to help people with the idea that maybe one day someone will help me or help my four daughters or my grandchildren or whatever. But real quickly, yes, I am the founder of Praiseworks Health and Wellness, and I started about it'll be 17 years on April 20th, and at the time I was 51 years old, maybe 16 years, something like that. Anyway, I left corporate America at 51 because I had an anxiety disorder. And I really needed to figure out how to heal without taking a pharmaceutical because that was what my doctor wanted me to do. And I just didn't want to do that. It wasn't because I was a purist, but I just knew there was something better. And that part of what was going on with me was anecdotal. And the other part I felt was physical. But I didn't know enough about it, to really speak intelligently about it. So I started doing more research. And the more research I did, the more I realized that I really wanted to not just cure myself, but help other women as well that might have issues around anxiety, stress, depression, as well as all the different things that happen to our bodies as we prepare for menopause, go through menopause, after menopause, way after menopause. It's never ending. They don't really tell you that part, but it stays with you for a while. It's just kind of like, that best friend you haven't seen for years and years, and all of a sudden it knocks on your door, and there it is. But the good thing is that you have tools and things that you can do that can be holistic, that are holistic, that can help with that. You don't always have to do HRT. I am not anti-HRT, but I knew that I wanted to do something else to balance my hormones, especially when I found out years later from a holistic doctor, not from a traditionally trained MD, that part of my anxiety problem had to do with my hormones. There is a thing called menopausal anxiety. It is very real. And very rarely do your doctors talk about it. That's why I think it's so important for you when you go to your doctor to go armed with all the things that have been bothering you, that you're curious about or whatever, and to have a discussion. And if you have a doctor that feels a little irritated by that or doesn't have time for that, well, then maybe it's time to find another doctor. Because the reality is your body, I believe, houses the Holy Spirit. It houses all that you are. And if your body is not in good conduction, if your mind, body, spirit is out of whack, then you're not well. So the quest should always be to be well. So if you fast forward about 10 years, and I had my Wellness Woman brand, and I was like, gee, I feel like I'm missing the boat. There's still some other things I want to say to women. And by that time, I had done just about all the things when it comes to being on the internet. It's so funny. I was so naive about the internet that I didn't even know I was a .com. I thought because my URL was .biz, that I wasn't .com. And someone said, well, if you're taking money over the internet, you're a .com. And I was like, what? If I didn't know that, I would never done that. Because at the time, all the .coms were going out of business. But I was, ignorance is bliss. So when I finally came out of that fog and began starting to make money, I thought, okay, there's something that I want to say to women that I feel like I'm not saying. I said, I feel like women over 40, over 50, or in my case, way over 60, are at a point sometimes where they really need to have raise their vibration, to be excited about life again, to stop feeling invisible, to not just take care of their bodies, but to honor their spirits and their minds. And I said, I want people to vibe. And I said, vibe. And really, it was on a walk, on one of my walks. That's where I came up with vibe. And vibe stands for being vibrant, intuitive, beautiful, and empowered, especially in midlife. And that's what I feel that all women should be. And I wanted to share with you some things that you can do real quickly to stay vibrant, to get to enhance your intuition, to radiate beauty from the inside out, and to get empowered. The first thing with vibrancy, you've got to embrace movement. It's so important. If you do, they say 30 minutes a day. If you can do 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes at night, that's 30 minutes. You want to make sure that you're nourishing your body. Of course, eating a balanced food diet that's rich, and there's all kinds of thoughts out there in terms of the kind of diet. Use your intuition, get the information, and figure out what works for you. I am a mostly a vegetarian. Some people are vegan, some people are omnivores. It all depends on what works for you. But figure that out and then do it. Do it. Actually implement the things that you know are good for your body. Cultivate curiosity. You want to stay open to new experiences and learning opportunities. Learning is the spice of life. You got to keep learning. And being in a group like this with Tara, that means you're well on your way to doing that. Practice gratitude. I know you know about it, but it really does help with your vibrancy because what you focus on, what you ponder on, truly does come to pass. So staying grateful and focusing on what's working is one way to keep yourself vibrant. When it comes to intuition, listen to your body. Pay attention to the physical and emotional cues, that inner voice that tells you things. If that inner voice says, don't put the keys there because you won't remember, don't put the keys there because you will not remember. If your intuition is telling you, gosh, that ache isn't an ache I know I should be feeling, check it out. Don't push it back because I know we're infamous for pushing things back and not dealing with them. Enhance your self care, enhance your self awareness. That helps with your intuition as well. Practice mindfulness, stay present. I've been practicing that a lot. In fact, one of the things that happened with me with my anxiety was staying more present. That really helped a lot. In fact, I can tell you with all the things that I've learned in practice, I am now about 99% anxiety free. And it's not because my life is perfect. It's just because I took my life back and started taking more control over how I encode the world. Another thing is reflect regularly and to increase your intuition. Take time to ponder, experience, get quiet. It's okay to be silent for a while. And when it comes to beauty, and I'm talking about the inner beauty radiating out, you want to radiate confidence, embrace your self assurance, and celebrate your unique beauty. Because I think all women are beautiful. I think we're all amazing. I don't know how we got onto this track that we're less than and weaker than. I think it's just the opposite, quite frankly. And that's a whole nother conversation. Prioritize your self care. Develop a skincare program, a grooming routine, the things, start your day in a positive way. The things, get yourself a morning ritual. Express your creativity. Find something that engages your creative mind. In something that you love doing. Like, for instance, one of the things that I do, and I started doing it about 3 years ago, is adult coloring. And I've gotten really good at it. I keep thinking, how can I monetize this? But anyway, adult coloring, dancing, anything that expresses your creativity. Surround yourself with beauty. Create a living environment that uplifts and inspires you. You can see my environment right here. That it's not a Zoom wall, but you probably know that's not a Zoom wall. But the things that are behind me so stand for who I am as a woman. I was a dancer for many years, so I've got the dancers back there. My children are over there where I can see them, and all of them, all the things in my environment stand for something. So creating a beautiful environment, all those things contribute to helping you feel more beautiful. And in terms of empowerment, set boundaries, establish limits that honor your needs and that value your relationships at work. Cultivate resilience. I can't tell you enough about that. And I'm sure you know about resilience as well. But develop those coping mechanisms that help you to navigate challenge and setbacks. We should no longer be in the hair on fire moments where back in the day when we were in our 20s and 30s, things would happen. It's not like that. You have survived most things and you will survive whatever is happening now. And finally, seek support just like this. Build a network of friends, family, and professionals who uplift and empower you. If you do all these things when it comes to being vibrant, intuitive, beautiful, and empowered, then you will enhance your vibe and you will definitely have a much more active and fulfilling midlife. I will be 67 in June, and I am happier now, more joyful than I've ever been, and can't wait to turn 68. That means I'm still alive. So thanks, Tara.